Jake Cady is the quarterback for Assumption football, off to a ranked start this season. They are 6-1 as we converse. Jake, first off, congratulations and thanks for taking some time.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on here today.
Walk me through what this season has been like for you and why things have gone so well at this point for the Hounds.
Yeah, of course. I think I tell most people this when I talk about the success we had last year and this year. We were able to have a lot of fifth-year guys come back and a really great senior class. And I really think our leadership has really spoke to why we've had so much success. We have a lot of guys with a lot of great skills and a lot of good positions. So that's also been a factor. And I think while we're also so old or older, I should say, I think the knowledge of the game has really helped a lot of us, kind of excel at a high level. When you can kind of slow the game down and really know what you're doing and not have to think about everything. You can just play ball. You know what I mean? So, really happy with how the season started off so far, and we hope to keep going up from here.
You come into this season as the champion from a year ago, being more so the hunted versus the hunter, having not won that title going into last year.
Right. Yeah, no, we definitely understand. I wouldn't say the pressure, but I'd say that we definitely don't look at any game like it's going to be a layup. We know that every game is going to be physical, tough, and in this league, really anyone can beat anyone. So, and obviously, coming off a conference championship, there's a lot of people that do want to take us out, but I think we enjoy being in that position. We know the competition is going to be high. We know the stakes are going to be high. And I think we love, playing in that environment.
What did it feel like to win a conference championship?
It was pretty surreal, especially, coming out of high school and then, going through this whole college transition when I came as a freshman and, really, seeing just how much it takes to, win a championship. You don't win the championship just in the season. You win the championship in the summer and the spring and all that. And, really, it's pretty surreal when it happens because you do put in so much work. And then when, at the end of the year, you're a champion, it's like I said, it's pretty surreal.
Let's talk about your summer and your spring a little bit, because when you look at your statistics, your completion percentage as we talk is up 13% from a year ago, which
Right.
is not a small number.
Right.
What did you do to grow your game and to get it to the point where you are playing at an incredibly efficient level?
I'm a person that's never satisfied, and I'm always very humble in what I do. And I think, having that on my shoulder, and being never satisfied, I constantly want to, build and improve on my game and make those around me better. And so, and the spring was crucial in terms of just, kind of taking what I, did last year and being like, okay, what can I improve on? What, what needs to be fixed? So the spring was very helpful in improving my skills and just kind of being quicker in everything I do. And then the summer was really just train as much as I can, throwing, footwork, getting in the weight room, and constantly talking with the guys because my success has really nothing to do with me. It's really about the team and all 11 guys in the field have to do their job for us to play at a high level. So I think the summer was big in the sense of me, kind of always being in guys' ears about, making sure we're training, make sure we're all on the same page.
Julian Edelman was talking about the relationship he formed with Tom Brady and the trust that they had and how that developed over time. And you don't just become a go-to receiver. You have to work on being a go-to. Bailey Collier has 1/4 of your completions this year. What's the relationship between the two of you?
So it's funny you say that. So, Bailey's one of my best friends. Those connections are so important to how it translates to the field where, when I'm making my reads and doing all this stuff, I know how Bailey runs. I know where he's going to be. He's got a great knowledge of the game. And I think those connections off the field really do translate to the field. And I think that's why, he's having a great year.
I have some random questions for you. You list on your profile that The Outsiders is your favorite book.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
So you got Pony Boy, you got Soda Pop, you got 2-Bit. What would your Outsiders nickname be if Jake Cady was in the group?
It's a good question. I think to kind of fit the kind of goofy names they all have, I've kind of I've kind of gone by Slim Shady here and there. Sometimes I'm a big Eminem guy, so maybe that'd work in with that group. But and so that's all I can think of.
Why do you play quarterback?
Yeah, so I've actually ever since I don't know, I started playing football in second or third grade, I always played the quarterback, and I think the reason for that was I do enjoy being able to have the ball in my hands every play and make those big time decisions and in a sense you're the leader of the offense, so I like I never necessarily don't like I like the pressure of being in that spot and having all eyes on me and um, making those plays and stuff like that. So I think that's been kind of the biggest driver for me is just, I like to take, like, if something goes wrong on the field, I take it on the chin because, that's my unit and that's my, but with that, there's a lot of really good things that happen and a really lot of, fun plays and big plays. And, it's really exciting to be kind of the leader of that group and, kind of put the guys in the best place I can be, put them in the best spots possible. And, really, what makes me happy is, throwing touchdowns and doing all that stuff, but not for my sense, but for those guys, because they put in just as much as work as I do. And it's really exciting to see that.
You're the Vermont Player of the Year coming out of high school from a town with a population of 5,000. Tell me about St. Johnsbury, Vermont, in the northeast corner of the state.
Yeah. So it's funny because a lot of the guys on the team pick on me from being from a small state and like, oh, do you have football up there and all this stuff. But to me, it's kind of cool because I like to embrace the fact that I did come from a smaller state where recruiting's not as high, and I kind of a big part of me why I do it and why I play is to kind of put my town on the map, my high school on the map, and kind of show those younger kids when I was that age that it's possible to play at a higher level. So I do have that kind of that chip on my shoulder, which is unique in a way because it is a small town and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of land. It's beautiful, a lot of farmland. But
maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup for sure, the best maple syrup. But yeah, no, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So it's really great place. And I definitely advise visiting there sometime for sure.
How did you get noticed from a recruiting standpoint, being from that area of the country?
Yeah. So, obviously, I was able to have some success and, awards and stuff that kind of, put my name out there. But I really have to give a lot of credit to my head coach, Rich Alercio, who was a college coach in the past, and really helped me to excel to the level I was able to in high school. And he was really vocal in my recruiting process and was extremely helpful. So I have to give a lot of props to him about getting my name out there. And I also have to say, my mom did a lot of, inside work too on, researching schools and all this stuff. So she was kind of my agent at the time. So she did a lot of work too. So those two for sure. But so I do thank them a lot for that.
Last question, as a Vermonter, what's the best flavor of Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Because they do come
and why fish food?
Yeah. I'm not as big on fish food. But they do come out with a lot of new flavors that are really good too. But I'm a big half baked guy. The regular cookie dough, the peanut butter cup. I don't think I could just put it down to one. I've actually been to the factory in Vermont.
I was gonna say, is it a tribal thing? Like, is there a Vermont pride to it, or is it just another brand that happens to be from up there?
No, there's definitely some pride to it. Especially when, as a Vermonter, I think everyone's gone to the factory a few times. And that's quite the experience too. So, but that is one thing when people are like, oh, you're from Vermont. I'm like, when they were eating Ben and Jerry's, I'm like, you know where that's from. You know what I mean? So it's funny. But yeah.
Awesome. Jake, appreciate the time. Congrats on the success so far and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much for having me on here.